Wednesday, friends. Happy Winning Wednesday. It's another Winning Wednesday here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm your girl, Dominique, Atlanta's nurturing agent. Thank you so much for joining me again for another Winning Wednesday tip. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if this is a 2 or plus more time being here, welcome back. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Today, I want to dive into the 3 advantages of home ownership. And this is obviously compared to being a renter, right? So I'm going to dive into these 3 aspects. Please know that none of these are in specific order. And then furthermore, I'm going to dive into which ones are my favorite and which ones are most important to me as an individual. So this is not to be taken as the gospel. This is just what is specific to Dominique. Okay. So today we're talking about what advantages you have when you own your home versus when you rent. And so the first one on this list is freedom. Freedom means that you have the luxury to do more than you can when you rent. And so by that, what I mean is when you are a homeowner, you have the ability to be flexible with tailoring your space to you. And by that, I mean you can paint. You can change the flooring, you can change the cabinetry, you can change the fixtures. If you want to add a ceiling fan, if you want to take a ceiling fan out, like you have the ability to make the space your own because you own it. It is your own, you own it. So you have that flexibility with the freedom here. When you rent, as you know, if you have rented, I've rented in the past, you don't have that flexibility. And so no, you're not changing the cabinetry, you're not changing the flooring, don't you dare paint, like it's just a no. So I think that the ability to have so much freedom when you own is beautiful. Secondly, we have stability. Stability here refers to the mortgage remaining the same. And so what I mean by that is if you have rented in the past, you are aware that when it comes time to renew your lease, or if you want to go month to month, your rate a lot of the time, I shouldn't say a lot of the time, your rate can increase. And just a quick funny story is before I moved into my own space, at one point I was renting, I had an apartment. And I remember I was so happy about the place because it was close to my job. The rent was affordable. It was in a nice area. Like I was just I was very satisfied with my situation. And it wasn't the most fancy, it wasn't the most upgraded apartment, but it was comfortable and it was doable. They raised my rent, I want to say, let's just say $25. It was something odd, like 24, 22. It was something odd, but I remember it wasn't anything major compared to what my mom told me when I was venting to her. Like, they raised my rent, let's just say $24. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. And my mom laughed at me. And I was like, what are you laughing at? Like, I don't understand what's funny. And she's like, girl, they just raised our rent like $200. I'm like, what? So the fact that that could even happen, I was like, they can just raise rent $200? Like, some people are out here literally living on fixed incomes, literally. And so to me, that was just so surprising. But anyway, that's one of the beauties of being a homeowner. You don't have to worry about that increase because your mortgage rate is your mortgage rate. And so if you do a 15-year term, that's your rate for 15 years. If you do a 30-year term, that's your rate for 30 years. Unless, of course, which you may do, you sell it before then, and then hopefully you're able to get your money back and some, depending on the market. But nonetheless, with stability, you don't have to worry about your rate increasing. Now, I do want to be transparent here and let you know that if you are living in an HOA community, that is going to be a little, it could change because some HOAs increase and some decrease, they don't decrease, but some increase based on what needs to happen in the neighborhood. And so I just really want to make it clear that your mortgage does stay the same, but if you're in an HOA community, there is a likelihood or a chance that your HOA fee could change while you are there, and change for the increase, not the latter, not the alternative. Excuse me. The last one is equity. Equity is probably my favorite of all of these because this correlates directly to money. And by equity, what I mean is having a property is an asset, right? And in the alternative to an asset is a liability. A liability, for example, could be a car. A car, as soon as it's driven off the lot, depreciates in its value. So it no longer holds the value that you paid for it. Whereas with a home, over time, the value increases, and it increases due to various factors. Sometimes the economy, sometimes the school system, sometimes it just depends, but typically the foundation of the equity increasing is the economy, right? So things being built around you, maybe businesses come into the area. Equity means that you're going to get a return on your investment. You're going to get, that's usually called ROI. You're going to get a return on your investment. And that is huge because property is one of the few investments that you can have that is actually like a double whammy, right? Because not only are you investing, not only are you making an investment in your property by buying it, a property is an investment, but then it also gives you shelter, and everybody needs shelter. Every human needs shelter. So that is why I think equity is is my favorite, because it is one of the things that, while you're getting your needs met for having shelter, you're also living in your investment. You're also getting, your home is also appreciating, and you're getting money based off that appreciation, which will help you in the long run when it does come time to sell your property, should you decide to sell. Yep, we got all of them. I hope that this was helpful for you today. Thank you for joining me on this Winning Wednesday tip. I'm your girl, Dominique, and thank you again.